All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ankara English. So, um, actually, this is our first video in on YouTube. So today, actually, for our first video, we have decided to start, with IELTS grammar series. And today, our first video will be about the present perfect tense, which is very essential, significant for the IELTS examination, especially for the writing part and the speaking part. So let's see. Let's start. As we can see, today our topic is the present perfect tense for IELTS. So, we'll go like step by step, all right, one by one, and see we can use the present perfect tense in the IELTS exam. So, let's see. All right, let's go down a little and start. So, all right. First of all, we have to learn, what the present perfect tense is. So, and of course, we'll, read it together and see, right, what the present perfect tense and of course, like additionally, we'll learn how we can use it specifically in the IELTS exam. So let's read it together and go step by step. All right. So what's the present perfect tense? Okay. The present perfect connects the past with the present. All right. So it's often used in IELTS writing and speaking to describe experiences, results, and life situations that have relevance now. All right. So first of all, especially in grammar and specifically for tenses in English. They're very essential for the um, IELTS exam. So, but like again, specifically, like we have to know, all right, we have to, you know, like knowledge two things, like two important things to learn the tense and where we can use it in the exam in that specific topic. Okay, like so first of all, we have to know the structure. Okay, so the structure of the tense, and the second one is in what kind of situations, all right, can we use that specific tense actually? So first of all, like in that context, first of all, we'll learn the structure of the tense. So here, actually, for perfect tenses in general, we need two things, okay? Like, like in a simple sentence in English, we need a subject, as we can see. We need a verb. So here in present perfect, specifically, we need, and of course, in all perfect tenses, we need two things actually. One is the auxiliary verb. We also can call it the helping verb. And the other one is the past participle of the verb. So, like The past participle is the verb to be form. Actually, as as students, as people, actually you are like about the about to enter the IELTS exam, so you're all like considered as advanced students. So, and for example, here, you know, like so I can explain the topic actually easily. So for perfect tenses, we have two verb structures. So one is have has, like as I told you before, it's the auxiliary verb. Now the word is called the helping verb, and the other one is the past participle form of the verb. So means the verb three. All right. So as we all know in English, we have like three verb forms, like one, the the first verb, present form, and verb two is the past form, and verb three, actually what we call, in other words, is the past participle form of the verb is the, of course, we use it for perfect tenses. Actually, so the second most important thing for the structured part is you have to make the subject here, look, subject, I, subject, and the verb. But like as I told you before, for perfect tenses, we have two verbs here, verb three, and auxiliary verb have has. So in this specific kind of situation, we have to make the subject and the auxiliary verb agree with each other. So be careful. And here is the subject and the auxiliary verb, look, have. And here she is the subject and has is the auxiliary verb, of course, right? So, and look, what I mean with the subject verb agreement is I is the subject. And look, with singular subjects, like it means, like for example, she is singular subject, we use a singular verb, has. But with plural subject, for example, I is like kind of an exception. But for example, let's say like you, like in Turkish we say siz, right? So for example, we can also say we, right? So we have, like we is a plural subject, and in accordance we use uh, like plural subject and the plural verb have. But like she has, right? So she's a singular subject. It has is a singular verb. Okay. For example, like he has. So this is actually one of the most important topics in the IELTS exam, in which many students, I can say, like make mistakes, okay? So many students actually make mistakes. So let's see. This is the structure. And remember, I told you that there are two important points to use a tense correctly, okay? To the point, actually. So one is structure, and the other one is in what kind of situations can we use it? So let's see, okay? So actually we have just covered the structure shortly, and the other one is the usage. So let's go down a little. Actually, these are that like we have like mm, five usages here. All right. So these are the like most essential usages that you can both like use in general English and of course in special purpose English, like exam English, like exam programs. So let's see, and like main usages. And of course, first of all, I just uh, I just want to give you the usage and uh, the example about the usage, an exemplary sentence about the usage. Okay, so look, one is experience up to now. For example, I have traveled to Japan. Wise, look, subject, and auxiliary verb, and I have, look, experience up to now. So this means that the action, okay, actually started at a specific point in the past and continued up till the present time, actually. I mean, the moment of speaking right now. Okay, so I have traveled to Japan twice. For example, I have traveled to Japan twice since I was, sorry. For example, you can say like, again, I have traveled to Japan twice since I graduated from high school, for example, right? So it started, the action started at a specific point, like to say it's kind of, for example, like, so you first traveled to Japan, when you graduated from high school, then since then, you have traveled to Japan twice, means two times, right? So, okay, so actions that started in the past and continue. So look, be careful. She has lived in Ankara since 2018. So look, it's actions that started in the past and continue. So actually, the first two articles here, the first one and the two, actually are very much connected to each other, like associated with each other. So experience and the other one's about the effect, actually. So actually, this is where we use the present perfect tense mostly, like experience and affect. Okay, so look, here I have traveled to Japan twice, and the other one's about experience. So, but again, both the first one and the second one is an action that started in the past at a specific point in the past and continued up till the moment of speaking. So the present time, right? So be careful. Um, so she has lived in Ankara since 2018, or you can say 2018. So she started at a specific point in the past. She started actually. Uh, like living in Ankara in 2018, and since then, she's lived in Ankara. Means so. And the third article is about like recently, means just now, like just new. Okay, it hasn't been a very long time. Just new completed actions, newly completed actions. So it means like recently completed actions. So it's just left the classroom, right? It hasn't been a long time that he left the like classroom, right? So is newly. It's just now, like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, half an hour ago, like just new. It means it hasn't been a long time. You just left the classroom. So, and the fourth one is past actions, but it's about the uh, results of past actions, right? So the results of past actions. So I've broken my glasses so I can see well. So again, so you broke your glasses actually at a specific point in the past, okay, in the past, but if you want to talk about, okay, or if you want to, mention about the result of that action. So it means I broke my glass, okay, I broke my glasses, but actually, the result again, we can also say the effect of this action is you can see good, you can see well now. So if you want to talk about the effect, okay, the result of a past action, you don't use I broke my glasses. So actually, this is the main difference between the present perfect tense and the past simple tense. So the past simple tense here is about the time, okay? At specific time, if you want to name, all right? If you want to name the time, the specific period of time, we use the past simple tense. But if you want to talk about the effect, okay, on that specific past action, then we use the present perfect tense to talk about it. So I have broken my glasses, okay? So as you can see, there is no time, the specific time here, because then right after that, okay, it's followed by the effect of the action, all right? So I have broken my glasses. What's the effect? Now, at the moment of speaking, now I can see well. So our last article is unfinished time periods, right? So we have seen 3 movies this week. We have seen 3 movies this week. Unfinished time periods. So here, what it means is this week, for example, it started on like Sunday, all right, Monday, actually, but the week hasn't finished yet, all right? It didn't finish. So you're talking about this week isn't finished. So there is a chance, okay, by possibility that we can say like more movies this week, right? So we have seen 3 movies this week. So, and maybe like tomorrow, today again, or like in the future, all right? So we can see more movies this week. Okay. So these are the main usages actually. Like as I mentioned before, both in general English and special purpose English, like exam programs. So let's see, let's go down a little and look. Again, I have just, be careful, I have just mentioned, so we are talking about the effect here. Look, the effect didn't finish yet. So now, actually, it means that you learn the present perfect, and the effect is you have learned the present perfect. So the present perfect and the past simple. Look, be careful. Now here, I will talk about the difference between the present perfect tense and past simple tense actually further. Look, past simple, I saw that movie last year. look here, there is a specific point of time. We can mention it with past simple and, of course, verb two. So, right, as you know, as advanced students here, to take the exam, the specific exam, the Ielts exam, so we can use the tenses are all about verbs, actually. So this is verb two, but here I have seen that movie before. So here, this is about experience. So I have seen that movie before. Or it can also be about a fact, maybe, right? So I have seen that movie before. Like, I didn't like it, and the effect still continues. So it means here at the moment of speaking, I don't like that movie, and I don't want to see that again, right? I don't want to see that again. So, past simple, she finished her work yesterday. Look, yesterday, finished. It's verb two, actually, with an ed suffix. All right. Like as a verb two form, past form of the verb. And she has finished her work. Actually, the effect still continues means she doesn't have no more work. She doesn't have any more work to do left, right? She's no work left to do. So she has finished her work, actually. So, and the third sample sentence is, they went to Paris in 2019. Right, very good. Look, there's a specific point in 2019. Very good. Okay. And they have gone to Paris this week. Means this week hasn't finished yet. Okay. So the time hasn't been completed yet. So they are still in Paris and they're not back to their hometown, right? So they went to Paris in 2019 and they have gone to Paris this week. So specific time, simple past, it's finished. Verb two, right? Go went, and they have gone to Paris this week. So it's like they've gone to Paris this week, and this week, the specific week, hasn't been completed and they're still in cars. So, okay, let's move down and let's do some exercises. So, look, fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verb in present perfect. So, so. And in addition, actually, you can see it in the instructions to the exercises. So fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verb in present perfect. So let's do it together. But I will actually acknowledge you, okay, tell you the usage for each sentence, but I want you to be careful with the subject verb agreement, okay? And be careful. Have has, subject have has, and main verb here be, finish, let call, and actually we have to make it you know uh, it not actually the negative form, and here we have the main verb say. And I will also help you. I will also actually help you with the like the past participle form, so the verbs here. Okay. All right, first you, okay, I will give you 5 seconds for each sentence and try to make um, a sentence with the given verbs in the parentheses. So let's see. Here's your 5 seconds. It has started. The first sentence, please. Okay, let's see. never. I have, be careful, subject and have, subject verb agreement. Very good. And never been to Canada. I've never been to Canada. So this is about um, experience. So we can say it's it's not a must actually, but we can say never is mostly used with experience. So I've never been to Canada. So okay, the number two, your 5 seconds have started. All right. She has, careful, she is a singular subject and a singular auxiliary verb, helping verb, has, not have, is a single, right, has. She's just finished her lunch. Okay. So it means that this sentence, in terms of the like usage, this sentence is about the effect on that person, on that individual, right? So look, this means she's just finished her lunch, and of course, it means now she is full, right? So she had just finished her lunch and she's full, of course. Like number three, please, it's your turn. Okay, so here we have lived here for 6 years. We have lived here for 6 years. So an action of living started at a specific point in the past. And like 6 years ago, we started living here and we have lived here for 6 years, right? So, okay. Number four, it's your turn again. All right. So he hasn't, look, not negative form. Of course, the auxiliary verb takes that not. All right, negativity. So he hasn't called me yet. He hasn't called me yet. So it means it's about a fact. I didn't hear from him, or I haven't heard from him, okay, since he left. So this is about a fact. So number five, it's your turn. All right. The correct answer is they have seen this movie twice. Okay. They have seen this movie twice. So it's about experience. It could be whether experience or a fact. Okay. It could be both. So they have seen this movie twice. So be careful. So, okay. They saw that movie twice and they have a possibility to see it again. Of course, if they liked it. So, yeah, okay. If they are interested in those kinds of movies, they can see it again. Okay, so there is a possibility that they can see it again. But maybe they didn't like it and they don't want to see it. So, for example, we can continue the sentence. So, they haven't seen this, so they have seen this movie twice and they didn't like it. So, it means that they don't want to see it for a third time, right? So we can say, okay, so error correction. Let's see, identify and correct the mistakes. So here, in each sentence, there is a small mistake. actually, and we have to correct the mistake and then like re-say the sentence, remake the sentence with the corrected form. Okay, so let's read it. I have saw that movie last night. So here's your 5 seconds start. Okay, so it says last night. Okay, this uh time expression, okay, so is about the simple past. So we use all the time expressions to start with last, okay, the adjective last with simple past. Last week, verb to in simple past. So here we can remove have, okay, and we can only leave so. So I saw that movie last night. So very good. So look, because it's about a specific point. All right. So remember, all right, like what I told you, uh, like before, okay, a few minutes ago in this video. So for specific times, you want to mention about time. Okay, emphasize the time. We use verb to, means simple past. Okay, so number two. She visited her grandmother yesterday. Very good. It's your turn, please. Right. So yesterday. Hmm, very good. Yesterday is about again last means last day. But we don't say last day in English, so instead we use yesterday. So she had visited her grandmother yesterday. No, we just remove have because it's simple past. We don't need an auxiliary verb. Look, remember again what I told you before in this video, because like we don't use uh like auxiliary verbs in other tenses, but but with perfect tenses. So here it's about yesterday. So we don't need an auxiliary verb. We only need a verb to. Okay, very good. A regular verb. She visited her grandmother. Yes. So we just remove that. Number three. It's your turn again. Okay, very good. Very good. All right. They has already finished the test. They has already finished the test. Kind of strange, right? So why? Why? Because remember, here number one and two, uh, so they're about the difference between the past simple and the present perfect. But number three is about the subject verb agreement. So it is a present perfect tense. It's true. Very good. Correct. But it's about the subject verb agreement. So we have to make the verb, and so it's a plural they, plural, and plural subject and singular auxiliary verb, right? So it's not they have a singular subject, a singular verb, a plural subject, and in accordance a plural verb. So it should be. So we have to remove has and we have to replace it with have, right? So they have already finished the test. And the last example is about present perfect. So I have to tell you the usage, actually. I think, like it will be useful for you. So it's about the effect. Okay, so they have already finished the test and they have no more tests to take. Okay? No more tests, no more questions left, right? So stay have. It's about the subject verb agreement. And let's see. Let's see. So our last you know topic here today in this first video of Ankara English. Okay. So it's the IELTS usage tips, of course, in terms of we mean so present perfect, our specific topic today. So let's read it together and go step by step again. So use present perfect in IELTS speaking part one. Be careful, speaking part one. Actually, part one is like mostly about yourself, okay? Your daily routines, your private life, and stuff like that, okay? So the examiner asks you questions about your life, your general things, okay? Okay, use present perfect in IELTS speaking part one when discussing experiences. For example, it says example given, right? I have been to, for example, the examiner asks you, like, have you um, ever been abroad? Have you ever been abroad before? Okay, very good. So, for example, yes, I have. I have been to Spain 3 times. So it's about experience. So, for example, I have been to Spain 3 times since I graduated from university, graduated from college, right? So I have means it means you started like traveling to Spain. Okay, for example, like when you graduated from college for the first time, you went to Spain as soon as you graduated from college. So it's like I've been to Spain 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, a lot of times, right? Several times, many times. Like Spain very much. This about experience. So, and please, this is a very significant, it's an extremely essential point that that would help you in the IELTS examination. So avoid using specific time verbs like yesterday or last year with present perfect. So it goes, it's a specific time, a specific, okay, period of time. So remember, I have told you a couple of times here in this video, here in our first video, we use it with the past simple tense, like yesterday, last year, verb two, not have as plus verb three, or in other words, past participle form all the verb. So again, use it to show continuity. I have studied English for 5 years. Okay, so you started studying English 5 years ago, and since then you're studying English. So it means so we don't say I'm studying English. Look, I have studied English for 5 years, and possibility that it can continue in the future. Okay, so in writing task one, so for like academic uh, like training called the IELTS examination, for writing test one, you describe charts and graphs and etc. Okay, and for general training of the like IELTS examination in writing test one, just write usually formal letters, right? Formal letters. So in writing test one, use it for describing changes or achievements. For example, describing changes. Okay, so be careful. Changes. So, for example, let's assume for a moment that you are describing actually. I'm specifically like talking about academic training of the IELTS exam, the IELTS academic. For example, let's say that you are, well, we can say you are like describing a map, maybe, right? For example, the town of Raspberry has changed a lot, significantly, okay, since it was first established. It has changed significantly, right? Essentially, dramatically, maybe we can say, right? Okay, so this is the end of our video. Actually, our first video of Ankara English. And for our further videos, please do not like forget to follow us on our YouTube channel. All right. So that's all for now. See you next time. Goodbye.